just got done watching the Dillian White versus Lucas Brown match. I came in the last last 3 rounds, but Lucas Brown looked like he looked to me he looked like a statue, man. He got beat. He got beat up from what I seen. He got beat up pretty bad. Dillian White handled his business. He knocked him out in dramatic fashion, and he called out Deontay Wilder. Now, we all want Deontay Wilder to fight Anthony Joshua next in his next matchup, but Anthony Joshua is fighting what next week? I believe Anthony Joshua is fighting next week on the 31st. So I mean, he will be available to fight Wilder, but Eddie Hearn and them say they're not going to fight Wilder next. So I wouldn't mind seeing Wilder fight Dillian White. And I know a lot of people say Wilder shouldn't fight Dillian White, but they all heavyweights. Heavy is not you can. It's not like you can move up or move that. You're not going to move down. It's not like they're lightweights or welterweights or middleweights where they can move up and down the scales and fight anybody. They all got to fight anyway. So Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder is a great fight to me. A great matchup. I think Wilder might fight him too. I think Wilder will be interested in fighting him. I mean, and another thing, Dillian White is in the top 10. He's rated in the top 10s of heavyweights. So I mean, why not see Wilder versus Dillian White? I mean, Wilder is a WBC champion. If I want to see him fight anybody, I want to see him fight anybody in the top 10. And Dillian White is part of that type 10. Gerald Miller is part of that type 10. He's part of that top 10. So I wouldn't mind seeing him fight either Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil ranked 8. Dillian White ranked number 7. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Big Barry Miller. He's ranked number 9. I mean, all these guys got to fight anyway. Your legacy is going to be predicated on the guys who you fought, that were higher in rank in your division at the time. So top 10 heavyweight is viable to fight for the championship, in my opinion. I believe top 10 heavyweight should be able to have a shot at the title. They can't go anywhere. None of these guys can go anywhere. I mean, I don't know y'all thoughts on Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian White next. Why not, man? Why not? To me, the heavyweight division is the most prestigious division. I want to see all these guys match up against each other as much as possible. As much as we can, I want to see these guys match up against each other. And I'm pretty sure Wilder's not going to sit on the sideline and wait on Anthony Joshua. That won't be a good thing for him to get yourself out of shape, rusty, ring rust because you waiting on Anthony Joshua. Still handle your business. Still keep knocking these guys out like you doing, Wilder. Just keep knocking these guys out because every time you knock somebody out, that's a statement. Joshua will have to fight you. Eventually, Joshua will have to get in the ring. So, if you want my assessment of the situation, fight Dillian White next. Fight Big Baby Miller next. Fight Dominic Brazil next. But I would like to see the reason why another reason why I would like to see the Dillian White fight because he had a fight with Anthony Joshua, and then you can have a fight with Dillian White and see how impressive can you be against him. I know styles make fights, but you can see how impressive you are against him. Maybe you can knock him out earlier in more dramatic fashion or whatever. But let's see that. Let's see Wilder versus Dillian White. I know Dillian White said that he would like to fight Anthony Joshua again, but he's not gonna get that fight with Anthony Joshua for a while. Let's be honest. He's not going to get that fight with Anthony Joshua for a while. When him and Anthony Joshua fight, it was a pretty good fight. He actually hurt Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua ended up knocking him out, but he ended up hurting. He did hurt Anthony Joshua. So I would love to see those guys fight. Though all these guys should be able to match up. I'm not an advocate of saying no, don't fight this guy, don't fight that guy because you waiting on him. If Joshua don't want to get in the ring with you, Wilder, right now as we speak, you have to go out to the other top 10 heavyweights. Just keep beating those guys because waiting on Anthony Joshua, which to me, I don't think Anthony Joshua is out of bounds right now because he is unifying a title, so he's not out of bounds. He is going out the top 10 heavyweights, so it's not like Anthony Joshua is fighting guys in a 20th ranked heavyweight or the 30th or 40th ranked heavyweight. He is showing that he want to fight and beat the best. The Wilder fight is the next big fight, the next big mountain he has to climb if he want to be undisputed. Wilder has to conquer Joshua if he want to be undisputed. I mean, well, Joshua has to get past Parker. I don't want to overlook Parker. Parker is a viable opponent. All these heavyweights are dangerous because one punch. Well, I know we say one punch can change it all, but definitely in the heavyweight division, one punch can change it all. You know what I'm saying? We seen Oliver McCall, versus Lennox Lewis. So we seen one punch change it all. We seen things like that. We seen George Foreman get dominated by Michael Moore and that stunned him with that punch and knocked him down. So yes, one punch in the heavyweight division means a lot. Hassan Rahman knocked out, knocked my guy out, Lennox Lewis. So we know in the heavyweight division is always dangerous. It's always that's why the heavyweight division, when the heavyweight division is sizzling, none of those other weight classes can live up to what the heavyweight division is doing when the heavyweight division is right. And right now, the heavyweight division is right. The heavyweight division is in a good place. Yes, it's a couple matches that we want to see, but that's every division. You can go just about every division and say, I want to see that match, I want to see that match. Why this match not happening right now? Why that match not happening right now? But I'm never an advocate for a guy to sit around and wait on another fighter. I'm not an advocate for a guy to sit out and just wait on another man, wait on what another man is doing, and make you and have your career suffering. I would love to see Wilder just stay busy fighting these top 10 heavyweights. There's other heavyweights he can fight. There's other top 10 heavyweights he can fight. You know, Joshua will be there. Just keep knocking guys out. I think he is going to the Anthony Joshua fight. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he can get in the ring. Maybe he can't get in the ring. But I hear that Joshua don't want him in the ring. Like I already made my statement about that. I don't care if he get in the ring or not. Wilder is a tough spot because he is the B. I mean, is Wilder the B side? I can't look at another heavyweight that's undefeated and knocking everybody out, every opponent that he faced, and he's a WBC champion. I can't see him as the B side. But I understand what you're saying, as far as Joshua bring in the most money. But that all depends on where they fight. If they fight in Vegas, they on even playing field. Now, if they fight in the UK, because they will be fighting in that big stadium, and I think it holds 90 something people. Those are Joshua fans, 100% Joshua fans. No way they fight in Vegas. Well, okay, yeah, you probably right. They probably won't fight in Vegas. I think the first fight will naturally be in the UK because both will make way less money here. Um, it all depends. It all depends on the pay per view. But the pay per views are much higher in the US than the UK. So, I don't know. They probably could make more money in the UK. You're probably right about that. But I think if Wilder beat Joshua in the first match, then Wilder will be able to call all the shots. Then the second fight can be in Vegas. Because my thing is this. I wonder why the pay per view are so high here. Because of the inflation. Inflation. That's why pay per views are so high here, because of inflation. But my thing is this: Wilder. I know Joshua offered Parker 35%. I know Parker wanted 40% originally, but it was negotiated down to 35%. I said this. I said Wilder should ask for 30%. Just ask for 30%. Get some of the money off the pay per view in the UK and go ahead and fight Joshua. Then when you knock Joshua out or beat Joshua, you get to call all the shots. Then you get to bring the fight to Vegas, or shoot, you get to bring the fight to Alabama, because essentially Joshua is fighting in his home. Yeah, America is your home, but you may be able to bring the fight to Alabama. But I don't know if they better bring the fight to Alabama. But that'll be a good look, though, if he knock out Joshua and they bring the second fight to Alabama. I would love to see that. You know what I'm saying? Have Joshua fight in a hostile environment like Wilder fought in a hostile environment. Because if they fight in Alabama, 90-something% of those fans will be for Wilder. And to me, that's only fair. So I mean, my thing is this: both of these guys are champions, man. Both of these guys knocking guys out. Both of these guys have won in an impressive fashion. This fight should be in a different country, not the UK, not the US. They should fight in another country, just a country where it could be neutral ground. To me, that'll be another good look for boxing. They can expand and fight somewhere else and bring the popularity up in boxing somewhere else. But you know, Eddie Hearn is not going to do that. But I mean, I'm not so frustrated with Eddie Hearn like other people are, because all Eddie Hearn is a hype man. Eddie Hearn's job is to get as much money for Joshua as possible. He's his promoter slash manager or something, whatever he is. His job is to make as much money as he can make and make Joshua money. So for people to get mad at Eddie Hearn, I'm not mad at Eddie Hearn. I know people like, well, Don King made all the big heavyweight fights, but another thing people don't realize, Don King signed almost all the heavyweights that was of notoriety back then. And if you was fighting Don King fighter, you had to sign a contract stating if you win, Don King promotes your fights. See, that's why Don King was making those fights. He didn't care to make any type of heavyweight fight, any type of matchup, because he was getting paid regardless. So he didn't care. He didn't care what kind of matchups he put Tyson in, what kind of matchup he put Tim Witherspoon in. He didn't care because he had control of the heavyweight division. So all Eddie Hearn is, he's a hype man. But one thing I can say about Eddie Hearn, he promotes the hell out of Anthony Joshua, year in and year out. That's one thing I can say about Eddie Hearn. And if the fight happens soon, that'll be Joshua telling Eddie Hearn, make the fight. The only guy that people should be mad at about this fight not being made as soon as possible, or as soon as you want it to be made, is be mad at Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua can go to Eddie Hearn and say, I don't care what you have to do, make this fight. Eddie Hearn's job is to protect his clientele, his money, Anthony Joshua is his golden goose. That's his job, is to protect that golden goose. It's Anthony Joshua's job to say, hey, my legacy is on the line. I want to fight this guy right now. Or, my legacy, I want my legacy to stay intact, so I want to fight this guy right now. I want to fight this guy before anybody else gets to this guy. That's what Anthony Joshua's job is as a fighter. So the fight is not going to happen soon. I believe Eddie Hearn, when he said the fight is not going to happen to 2020 or 2019, it may not happen to 2019. We may have to wait to 2019. I don't want to wait that long, but hey, if you don't think you should wait that long, and you think Anthony Joshua is ducking Wilder, don't look at none of his fights. That's a way that you could stick it to Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. You could do your little piece and say, hey, I'm not going to look at none of his fights until he fight the guy I want him to fight, which is Wilder. That's fine. You have your right to do that. But my thing is this. Wilder should not be sitting around waiting for Joshua. Him and Dillian White is a good matchup. Him and Big Baby Miller is a good matchup. Him and Dominic Brazil, whoever in the top 10 is a good matchup. Because the top 10 heavyweights, all those guys are in a bunch. I know we got Parker, Joshua, and Wilder at the top, but those other 7 guys, those guys are all bunched up. You can pick one of them out of a hat. And you know what I'm saying, and get it on. But my thing is this. I'm not an advocate for people to sit around and wait on other guys. Wilder can fight Dillian White. I know Wilder said he's not gonna fight Dillian White unless Joshua was on the contract. I mean, that don't make no sense. What do Dillian White got to do with Anthony Joshua? They two different fighters. Matter of fact, Joshua already knocked out Dillian White. So what they got to do with each other? You haven't fought Dillian White yet, so what that has to do with you? Put Joshua on a contract. I mean, come on, man. That don't make no sense. Just fight Dillian White, man. And I don't believe he should have to go to the UK to fight no Dillian White. Dillian White got to bring his ass over here. If I was Wilder, no, I'm not finna fight you in no UK. Man, bring your butt over here. What have you... When you fought for the title when you got knocked out, so bring your butt over here. Fight in Alabama. I would love to see that fight in Alabama. I believe Dillian White said he'll come to Alabama. I'm not sure, but I believe Dillian White said he will come to Alabama. That'd be a good fight for Alabama. Wilder get a fight, heavyweight championship fight against Dillian White in Alabama, because you know Dillian White at the press conference is gonna be talking a lot of stuff. That'll be a good fight. But let me know what y'all think. Should Wilder fight Dillian White next? This is Boston 8576. I'm out.